Okay, Brenton, coming off of a Gold Glove last year, how much confidence did that give you in the offseason, also motivation for this year?
Yeah, super surreal. I mean, I worked my tail off to get that award. I mean, it's the most prestigious one you can get as a defender, and I take a lot of pride in my defense, so super cool to get.
Now, you got a Gold Glove in the minors, if I'm not mistaken, correct? Did you know that you would get a Gold Glove back then?
I didn't. I didn't even know when I got it that they gave out Gold Gloves to minor leaguers. And Forbesy called me up one day and said I won it. So I was pretty pumped up about that. But yeah, just want to keep it going and win some more.
All right, what is kind of the key in center field at Coors Field, where it's a very hard place to play?
Yeah, I think it's all about doing your research on the type of hitters you're about to face and putting yourself in the best position to go get whatever they do. And then just early work and everything. Not taking those gaps for granted, busting your butt to every single ball and getting the best reads you can.
You run well. You stole a lot of bases last season. Obviously, the key is getting on base this year. What are some of the offensive changes that you've made this offseason?
Yeah, just making my swing a little bit more efficient, giving myself more time to react to what's coming towards me, and just putting myself in the best situation I can to get on base and use my speed.
Last year, during the year, you were trying to make little tweaks. You weren't trying to do everything. But did you kind of sense at the end of last season that you knew what you wanted to look like in the batter's box this year?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this game is a big game of adjustments. So throughout the season, you're going to have those tweaks. When your swing's not feeling right, you're going to do whatever you can to make it feel as confident as it can be. And that's what I did and finished on a strong note and want to keep going.
All right, what would you say is the biggest change that if you're a fan looking at Coors Field that you'll see from Brenton Doyle?
I don't know. I'm just going to be myself like I always am. I'm not going to change a whole ton. Just going to go out there and play my hardest every single day for him.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, you came back last year, finished the year. First of all, how did you feel at the end of it as far as the health and everything of the arm?
I felt great. It's kind of wild when you think about how long you deal with stuff and you go through stuff and it just becomes the new norm. So to come back healthy and to get over that hump, it was relieving. I felt like my old self, and I was so excited to finish healthy.
Yeah, because you took kind of a step back after coming back. That had to do you feel like that got you a little bit healthier going at the end?
Yeah, and as much as I didn't want to take the time, I know I needed it. I knew it was the right move by the team. But the competitor in me didn't want to come off the field. But for the long haul, it was definitely the right move, and it helped me feel that much better coming back.
What was it like at the end of the year getting a taste of the ninth inning at the Major League level?
It was everything you ever wanted, you ever dreamed of. I loved it. I was ready for it. I embraced it. I tried to enjoy it. And I just wanted to, help get the final three outs to secure our wins.
With Bard, his spring has slowed down a bit with the surgery. You and Lawrence, they've talked about the two of you kind of competing for the spot. How do you assess a competition, and how do you approach it?
I think competition's great. I hope the decision on the coaching staff at the end of spring is a very difficult one, because that means all of us relievers are doing our jobs and we're all doing what we expect to do. So I think it's great. I think competition is going to breed the best out of all of us, and I think at the end of the day, we're all rooting for each other, because that's going to make us the best bullpen and help our team the most.
But especially before the injury, you had one of the better downward breaking sliders in this game. Do you feel like that came back at the end last year?
It did. I feel like it took a little bit of time, to kind of trust the elbow again, that I could finish it and do it like I used to before, but came back towards the end and was here this offseason, and I'm super excited this year to throw it again.
Of course, you're getting ready for 2024, but we look at this team going forward, and it looks like yourself and Lawrence, you could be here a little while. I mean, do you feel like you've developed kind of a working relationship and also with the other guys, because it looks like you have a lot of guys that could be here for a bit?
Yeah, I think it's exciting. I think there's some guys like Lawrence and Bird and whatnot that have kind of taken their careers to the next level and kind of established themselves and are starting to kind of launch, so to speak, and it's exciting to see that transition. On the position player side, guys like Nolan, guys like Doyle, Tovar, coming through. It's exciting because we see the pieces going forward that you need, and I think we've got a lot of those going forward. So it'll be fun to kind of help figure their way and their footing out in this league.
From a bullpen standpoint, you watched Arizona where they had a lot of guys go up and down between the majors and AAA, and at the end they settled the ninth inning. Everything turned out okay. I mean, do you feel like this could be a better bullpen quicker than a lot of people think when you look at the Rockies?
Absolutely, and I also think our bullpen has a lot of flexibility. I think there's a lot of guys that can do a number of different roles, which only makes the roles easier for us. But I think when you work back from the ninth inning down, with a closer and your setup men below, I think establishing those roles early helps guys know, hey, this is what I need to be prepared for, and this is what I need the situation to be ready for. So I think that helps with clarity for their daily job, and I think we have a lot of guys that can do a lot of different things.
And what is it going to be like to get Daniel back and hopefully get him back to where he was?
I mean, hopefully it's going to be the extreme boost that we hope it is and that we've seen from him in the past, and that just makes us that much better when he's himself. He anchors us down, and we'll be that much stronger.
Thanks. Can I talk to you a little bit? Okay. Justin Lawrence, I think it was 11 saves last year. You worked in a whole lot of different parts of the game. Coming into this year, how important is the role that you'll be in?
For me, it's whatever role it may be. Like you said, I touched up on a lot of roles last year, and I really embraced that. I really embraced coming in those 5th, 6th, 7th innings after a starter has a great start, gets into a little bit of a jam. Getting out of those situations, I take a lot of pride. Love coming in, seeing the starter up on that first step, thanking me or whatever it may be, keeping the game there. Guys are fired up. It kind of brings the energy back in our favor. As far as the saves, I mean, that was such a fun stretch for me as well. It's really just a part of the game. Any situation, any outing that I'm able to come in and help the team win, that's really what I look forward to.
So how do you approach spring training? Daniel Bouchard, I know he'll get here later, but may not be ready for the start of the season. Do you look at it as competition for a role or just getting ready for the season? How do you do it?
No, I don't look at it as a competition at all. For me, it's I come into camp ready to go. I come in ready to compete, and at the end of the day, it's get guys out, right? Whatever inning that is, whatever role that is, I come into camp ready to get guys out. So whatever they see fit is what I'll be ready to do.
Your pitch, that slider that is a sweeper, kind of swept the nation last year, and you got to be known around the game with a pitch that really has crazy action. How did that feel to be known for a pitch like that?
It honestly just builds up your confidence a lot, knowing that it's a pitch that gets talked about. It's a pitch that gets thrown on Rod Friedman's pitching ninja page all the time. So you see that stuff, right, and you kind of learn as you get more experience in this game. Like, okay, this is a really good pitch. I should use it. I should be confident in it. I should throw it in any count, and that's something I really learned how to do last year, and I'm hoping to do that more this year.
Thanks, Justin. All right. Okay, Joe, it's been a little while since we saw you come to Coors Field out of Ohio University. You look like you're bigger, stronger, more mature. Talk about what Joe Rock has done since being drafted.
Definitely keying in on nutrition this offseason was a big thing for me because, I wasn't eating the right food. So just going in the offseason, focusing on what I'm eating, and then also doing it in the weight room.
Last season also, you had some good starts there in AA. I know staying healthy was an issue, but tell me how you developed as a pitcher, your pitch mix, and what you were able to accomplish last year.
Definitely learning how to use all 3 of my pitches to get hitters out because in college I could live, fastball, slider, and get 95% of the guys out. But coming here, I had to learn how to use all 3 of my pitches and mix them together.
Tell me about your changeup.
It's came a long way. In college, like I said, I never really threw it a lot, but just focusing on that in catch play and in bullpens has been a big focus for me, and it's came a long way.
As far as you're concerned, AA last year, in big league camp this year, chance to kind of show what you can do to Bud Black and the staff here. How exciting is that?
It's exciting. Like being noticed that you're putting in hard work, it doesn't go unnoticed. So, coming in here and trying to show what I could do is going to be a big step for me.
Thank you much, man. I appreciate it.
Were you in the lab yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, can you tell me how that went? What was your impression? What did you learn?
The lab, so, that's a new thing for me. I never really had that much technology, but going in there and seeing how I'm moving is going to be a big thing on, correlating to the mound and seeing how I could use my body better.
Hey, one more from me. Change your diet. What did you eat, and did you learn to cook it?
I did learn how to cook a little bit, but it was mostly just like chicken, rice, mostly more healthier foods compared to like McDonald's and stuff like that.
All right, thanks, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Good.
Okay, Sean, last season, obviously, you dealt with an injury throughout most of it, but to finish as strong as you did National League Player of the Week at the end, what did that mean to you going into the offseason?
Did I win that? I don't know. I think Nolan might have won that. But anyways,
Something like that.
I don't know, maybe. But no, it was good. I mean, obviously the injury was not, how I drew it up or how I wanted the season to obviously start. But it is what it is. Had a lot of time to learn and observe the team and other players that came into the stadium, and just watching all the best players that came through, and obviously to be able to come back and have a little success at the end definitely gave me some confidence. And I don't want that to kind of be the ordeal that I have to go through again, but like I said, definitely got some confidence at the end from that.
Hey, along the way, Charlie Blackman has talked about your thirst for knowledge. You spent a lot of time with him, spent a lot of time watching him. How much has that helped you develop?
Oh, honestly, I don't even think I could put into words how much he's meant to me and a lot of the other young guys. Just the way he goes about everything. His preparation is so key. I've always looked at the best players in every league and tried to figure out, what kind of separates them. And now there's the obvious talent, level that those guys have. But at the same time, it's the preparation, right? It's being ready for really anything. And to see a guy like Chuck that has spent so much time in the league and gone through so many different waves or styles of play in the big leagues, I guess, in his 14 years for a guy to stick around as long as he has, there's obviously things that he's doing right. And so I just felt like for me to follow him and to shadow him a little bit and just learn how he goes about his preparation day in, day out, the consistency, everything about him, it really to me is kind of the definition of a perfect teammate.
These days in baseball, there are a lot of free swingers, a lot of guys who hit home runs and strike out a lot. You've resisted that urge. How did that happen for you? Have you always been this disciplined in the
I try not to, but at the same time, I don't know. I think it's just kind of knowing yourself. I have found coming up, over the years that I might not have the same power that a lot of these other guys have, so I can't totally just go out and sell out. I need to kind of stay in my lane, know who I am as a player, and understand, where I fit in a lineup. And for the most part, that has always been, try to get the next guy up kind of thing. And that's something I've learned from a young age, going through college and through the minors. Just having good at-bats, get the next guy up. It's a team game, right? Like, it's not always just about me and trying to hit a homer. Obviously that helps the team, right? But, there's a balance to, having the right approach for different pitchers, different situations, in the game situation, the scoreboard, all that stuff comes into play. I just try to play the game, the right way. And like I said, just try to get the next guy up.
It's funny because in this game, a lot of guys advance and with that kind of almost all or nothing mentality. But the fact of the matter is, don't the best teams have guys who get on base, who make the pitcher work and do all those things that we talk about?
Totally. And I think like anything in life, there's a balance to it. You do need to have guys that have power, no doubt about that. But I think, like I said, there's a way to kind of do that. There's different situations in the game where you can maybe pick and choose your spots to kind of go after a guy. And there's maybe chances where, you need to reel it back a little bit and maybe, work a count and all that. And like I said, I think over the course of a 9-inning game, over the course of 162 games, you do kind of see some tendencies like that with the better teams that are able to work counts and get deep into bullpens and all that. I could talk for hours about that, but that's kind of the gist of it. Is like I said, it's 9 guys kind of working all together. It's not always just one guy after another doing his own thing, and I think that's really important.
Thanks, Sean. I appreciate it.
Thank you.